Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spiritual Journey podcast. My name is Nimesh, Radia, and I'm your host. I always love starting every episode by saying thank you. I feel so blessed with this podcast, the impact it's having, the people it reaches. If you're a regular listener, welcome back. Thank you for your support. If this is your first episode, welcome. Let us know if you have any feedback. Feedback's always a blessing. We love what we get to do. When I started this podcast, my intention was really to simplify spirituality and share whatever knowledge I have. Over 300 episodes later, or 5 years later, clearly it's reaching those people that need to hear it most. So I'm so grateful. I am an Akashic record reader, Akashic trainer, podcast host, podcast creator, as well as a spiritual coach and mentor. And I love what I get to do. I get to guide people on their journey. I get to hold their space while releasing the programming and truly becoming their authentic selves. I do that through the mentorship program that we channel, also through Akashic Records, through this podcast, through a membership I'm releasing. So many different ways to be guided, and I love what I get to do. So my voice resonates, reach out. Maybe we're meant to work together. Maybe you have a soul contract to work together and to heal and to expand. This podcast won't be where it is today with our beautiful, stunning, and amazing co-host introducing Stacey Brown, published author, Akashic record reader, such a beautiful light in the world. Stacey, over to you. Love for you to introduce yourself.
So good to be here again, friends. Thank you for taking the time out to spend time with us. This podcast is really special and it's near and dear to both of our hearts, and we love making an impact. So thank you for being here. My name is Stacey. I'm an intuitive. I do readings for people from all around the world. I am also an Akashic record reader and a spiritual coach and mentor. My book, Journey to Soul Center, Discovering the Gift of Surrender, is available on Amazon and Audible. If you haven't checked it out yet, please do. I've been getting some amazing feedback lately, and I just want to say thank you to those of you who have reached out with emails and well wishes after reading my book. It's always powerful to hear from you, and I love receiving the feedback that I do about the book, so thank you so much. Looking forward to getting into this episode today. How you doing, Nims?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to it too. It's just, it's been such an energetic time. We're, we're recording this on the Tuesday. I'll release it Thursday after, and by the time I release it, we're currently, while recording, 5 planets in retrograde plus Chiron, so 6 entities in retrograde. 2 will finish this week, and really hoping that the energy starts to shift, and because realistically, anyone that I've been talking to, any client, any friend, everybody's going through something. And so this week we thought it'd be great to talk about signs from the universe. How does guidance really show up? What does it look like? I really do feel like our guides, the universe, is trying to communicate with us so much more than ever before. And there's so many different ways you can hear from your guides. There's so many different ways you can receive messages, and a lot of the time it's our expectation of how we receive these messages that frustrates us, right? It's that, you maybe hear from people from us and we talk about seeing things and hearing things, and there's an expectation, I should be seeing things, I should be hearing things, and however you receive messages is unique to you, and this is the beauty of it. It's just, but I do feel during this transitional time, while the planet's going through such a shift, our guides in the universe are showing up in so many different ways. So let's start talking about the different ways the universe shows up. And a lot of people always start with angel numbers. When you see 111, 222, whatever that looks like. And sure, for me, that's a message that my guides are around me. So a lot of the time I will see those magic numbers, right, when I look at the time or different ways. And for me, each number does mean something. So if I want to dive into it, this is something said we channeled. One is unity, 2 is wisdom, 3 is communication, 4 is expansion, 5 is creativity, 5 is vision, 6 is creativity, 7 is harmony, 8 is community, and 9 is 9 is love. It's like an end of a cycle. But whatever those numbers mean to you, I mean, I shared that just because it's something sort of channeled and it's something that I resonate with. But it's like a lot of the time we'll see these numbers and we'll need to know what they are. And a lot of the time for me, they're just my guides let me know they're there. My angels let me know they're there, and just thank them for showing up. Yeah, but there's so many other ways, you just closing your eyes and feeling energies and vibrations around you. What do you feel? Being honest with it. Probably later in the episode, I'll do a quick process to connect you to your guides. But also the synchronicities, meeting people at the right time. I'm finding there's so many synchronicities recently. It's just connecting with people at the right time. But also things like dreams. I feel like the veil is so much thinner right now and our dreams are so much more vivid. And they give you a clue, The other thing I'd always say is checking with your physical body. What are you feeling? If you have a question and you're not sure what the answer is, sure, ask your guides. But also check with yourself. How do you feel about it? How does it make you feel? And we had last week's podcast we released was around the difference between anxiety and intuition. And I feel like this one's going to be a little similar. So yeah, if you ever listen to that one, listen to it, because we are feeling very anxious right now. We are feeling like change is coming. We don't know what it is. But sometimes that anxiety is also intuition. So how are you feeling in your body, whether it's anxious, whether it's sad, whether it's fearful, whether it's joyful, whatever that is, that's also a message, because the body is a natural channel. Obviously, intuitive nudges. I feel like our guides, the universe, loves giving us nudges along the way. And those nudges could come in the form of something you feel, something you dream of, something you hear, but it could also be a conversation with a friend. It could be listening to this podcast. But when these intuitive nudges, when you get these messages, the messages normally feel light. And a lot of the time we overthink it, right? So Stacey, how do you feel? And what are the different messages, the way the universe communicates with you?
It's so interesting because when we first decided on this topic, I was like a deer in headlights thinking about, okay, what are the different ways that I receive signs? And what are these synchronicities? And how am I going to convey this? I would say that one of the biggest things for me is, like you, the repeat numbers. Seeing repeat numbers on the clock or license plates, patterns like that come up all the time for me. And to me, it's a sign that I'm connected, and it's a sign that my guides are looking out for me. So I feel like it's very symbolic. You know, the intuitive nudges for me and the signs I feel are always there. I feel that it's more about us paying attention. We're so distracted with what's happening in the world, and the outside noise of the world is so much louder that I think sometimes we don't pay attention to those signs that the universe is giving us. And to me, in those quiet times where I feel like I'm not receiving signs, it's usually because I'm not getting still enough to pay attention. And so if you're feeling that way right now, if you're sitting at home listening to this podcast and thinking, oh my gosh, I have not received any signs from the universe. Like I can't even connect with this. I would really encourage you to carve out some quiet time where you can be still and really pay attention and ask your guides for signs. I believe that they will answer those requests. Another way that I receive signs that I feel is really powerful and I've helped clients with is through oracle cards. I have a deep connection with my oracle cards, specifically the Sacred Destiny deck by Denise Lynn. And when I use those decks, it is amazing the divine messages that come through. And they always seem to resonate at the time that I need them. And to me, that's another powerful communication tool with my guides, right? I just shuffle the deck until a card falls out. And when that card falls out, that's my sign, that's the message. I don't overthink it. I just allow the energy to flow. And whatever message is meant for me is what I receive from the deck. So if you haven't tried oracle cards, I would really encourage you to try that and see how you feel about the messages that come through. Just being very transparent, I struggle with sleep. And so dreaming and receiving signs through dreams isn't something that happens to me on a regular basis. I would love to receive more signs through dreams. So I feel like I need to ask my angels and guides to deliver in that way, because I feel like that's another powerful connective tool. I just feel for me personally, it's an area that I don't have that connection like I would like to have that connection. But I also believe that there are signs through the animals in nature, right? Through different things that we see and witness. I have a friend who lost her son tragically, and she has requested from her guides to see eagles. And through several occasions, she has seen eagles and witnessed this bird that you would never expect. I also think it's important to be open that the signs might not be delivered in the way that you're expecting them. You know, another friend of mine, also dealing with loss, really wanted to see a sign from the universe, and she asked for a rainbow. And she lives in an area where rainbows aren't prominent, but she requested it anyway. And she walked into a small cafe, and on the bulletin board, they had done in chalk this giant rainbow, right? So the symbol came to her, but it wasn't an actual rainbow out in nature. It was a rainbow on a blackboard in a cafe. But the point is, she was paying attention. She was ready to recognize whatever signs were coming her way. And so when she saw that bulletin board and she saw that rainbow, she knew that it was a sign. So I think so often we just aren't paying attention. And I would really encourage that pause and that time where you request from your guides what you want to see, feel, or witness, and then allow yourself the pause for that experience to unfold for you. I really believe so much of this is lack of us being connected versus our guides not looking out for us. I believe they're always looking out for us and willing to give us signs. The question is, are we willing to pay attention?
I couldn't agree more. It's powerful stuff there. It's really interesting. I mean, the thing with asking is it's the intention you put behind it. So let's say, give an example of the rainbow that Stacey was talking about. If you ask for a rainbow, but in your mind you're like, that's never going to happen. These signs never come through for me, only for other people. If you have that intention, your guys are going to hear you. And they're going to be like, okay, well, what this person wants is to actually not receive these signs. So you have to, and it is hard, I get it. But you have to put the message out there to your guys and let go of when it's going to come, how it's going to come. Using Stacey's example, if that person was like, you could have walked into the calf, saw the rainbow, and thought, you know what? Actually, no. What I really want to see is a real rainbow. And who knows? You might see a real rainbow, but it's about trusting that the message is for you. It's like, how often do we want to test it? Okay, and it's like if you're only doing it to test, then that's not real intention. So it's like you've got to want magic to be around you to see magic. So it's like set the intention out there of seeing an eagle, but just let go of how you're going to see the eagle. And, maybe you see it on a sign on a truck, or in a calf or whatever. It's just the other thing to bear in mind is sometimes our guides have jokes. They do have a sense of humor, so they do like to kind of send these message sometimes in a humorous way. And also, are we watching? Are we looking? So it's really interesting when you ask. I love getting up, and this was something actually that the phrase. I know Stacey kind of guided me to it, but I always love asking my guides in the morning. You know what? Today I want you to show up and show off. I'm not limiting what that showing off looks like, and I'll be very open to receiving magic and whatever. And that sometimes comes from my clients. It sometimes comes from just experiencing the day. Kind of stepping out into the garden and feeling nature. And there's so much magic out there if we're open to it. But it's our expectations. And Stacey, you talked about dreams, and the things with our sleep and dreams is we carry so much of our day into our sleep and so much of our night into our day. So what I always recommend is emptying your cup is just before you go to sleep, just release everything you're holding on to. And you can do that symbolically. So one way of doing it is by touching your forehead onto a desk, onto a bed, onto the floor, and just allowing your third eye to connect, and just asking Gaia to release everything you're holding on to. And if you do that before you go to sleep, it allows you to be freer when you sleep, and maybe you get deeper sleep and deeper dreams. And doing it in the morning means wherever you've traveled at night, you're freer to. So it's just so much is happening to us in a short space of time. So emptying your cup and releasing, and there's mantras you can say before you go to sleep. Simply, I release anything I'm holding on to today. Anything that doesn't serve me, I release it, and to enable me to have a restful sleep. You can ask your guides to get for deeper dreams. I know I have some really deep dreams, but I don't always remember them, and I don't need to. It's fine. But I also know that sometimes we integrate, expand, we experience things in our dreams. And for me, recently, it feels like the veil is so much thinner. So it means that my dreams have become more vivid. They have become more intense. They feel more real. And I just feel like the time we're in right now, the veil is thinner. So, and the other thing is the synchronicities. People come into your life when you least expect it, and just being open to the magic of it. And just a short story with Sidra. We were in Vancouver visiting a sister, and it was the last day, and she had some event to go with her sister. And I was just joking with her. I'm like, there's a metaphysical store called Bella, and Bella is one of Sidra's avatars. So I'm like, Sidra, I'm going to go visit Bella, and you can't go. I was just joking around with her. And so I went off and visited. They live quite near the water, so I did some cleansing before I really come back and stuff. And then I went to the store, and I was just looking. And actually, ironically, I was looking for something for Sidra. We'd just been to a soul spa, and it was my way of saying thank you. And I was just walking through the store, and there's a lady standing next to me. I didn't really pay much attention, but we were both looking at crystals. And all of a sudden, I turned around, and it was Sidra. I'm like, "Wait, what are you doing here?" And she was like, "I'm coming here looking for a gift for you." I was like, "Okay." And isn't that funny that we were both there looking for a gift for each other? And in the end, I said to her, "Just pick a crystal pick a crystal, for me, which you feel energetically connected to." And I still got that crystal in my altar. So, just like magic is all around us, and magic is in, the birds, just walking in nature, just feeling the magic of it. Just if you've got kids, in the beautiful moments you have with the kids, and just allowing yourself to feel magic and be magic right now is really important. And the self-care, we always talk about self-care every week. I feel like we talk about it every week anyway, but time in meditation, time in nature, time in silence really gives you a strong, solid base. And from that, you get more awareness, and from more awareness, you see more of the magic. So your self-care routine is so foundational in anything you do spiritually. And letting go of the meanings. Like sometimes we get paranoid, it's like, oh my God, it's just this number, I need to know what it means. Or, recently I picked a card for one of my clients, and it was around not having desires. And the card was, to release your desires to truly experience the magic of the world, something along those lines. And she was like, she analyzed it between the sessions, and she was like, I don't understand. How can I not have desires? And just like, for me, the interpretation was more, once you of course you can have expectation, of course you can manifest beauty and magic and have some desires, but you've got to let go of how those desires are delivered. Because what if what the universe has for you is so much bigger than you can ever imagine? And if you limit yourself into your desires, into what you expect, then you could miss out on so much magic. So it's like, when you manifest magic and you ask for magic, you ask your guides to show up, but you let go of what it looks like. You're giving them permission to show off in a way that could be so much more magical, so much deeper than you could ever imagine. I mean, look at this journey. Look at the way I met Stacey. We met on a social audio app called Clubhouse. Well, it's probably about 5 years ago now, Stacey. It's crazy, right? But 4 years ago. But anyway, but yeah, I just heard her speak. She was being so vulnerable. I just got the nudge to have a conversation, and now we've been working together for years. So and I do feel like we're in a phase where we've been through a rebirth, and for many of us, maybe the people in our lives need shifting. Maybe there's some people where your soul contract's done. I do feel like we need to create a vacuum. I do feel like new people are coming into our world, and when new people come into our world, all of us get an intuitive hit. We get a feeling. Why are they meant to be there? Are they meant to be part of my future, or maybe they're not? It's like we've got to trust that intuition, but we've also got to allow new vibrations, new energies to come into our world. There's so much magic out there. Allow yourself to feel it. And me and Stacey have both been quite conscious that recently our episodes have been quite heavy. And it reflects the energy and the vibration of what the planet's going through, right? Everybody's going through something really intense. Stacey's, I'm sure if you listen to the previous episodes, just released a relationship, which is obviously, kind of you go through grief. I feel like we've all been going through some grief, so we've intentionally picked an episode today to allow you to focus on the magic that's around you. Yes, there's intensity. Yes, you've been going through a lot. But what if now you're open to truly feeling the magic? What if you're open to allowing new people into your world? So, Stacey, I feel like I'm going to do a quick process to just allow people to open to guides outside. But before we go there, I'd love to hear from you in terms of how are you connecting with your guides? How are you kind of going through this transition, and how do you feel supported?
So I think so much of it is intention. Where are you putting your intention right now, and how are you making an effort to connect? And for me, I find so much power in practicing the pause and taking time out to connect. I have been writing a lot, which has been very therapeutic and very helpful to the process. And connecting with what I'm grateful for is a huge part of that, and expressing that gratitude while giving myself a space to understand the deeper meaning behind what I'm going through. I feel like my angels and guides are communicating to me through the writing when I channel write, and giving me an understanding and a perspective that I might not otherwise have. I also have been pulling cards on a regular basis, like I mentioned earlier, And that has brought me a tremendous amount of peace as well, to sit and shuffle the deck and get a message for myself is powerful. I mean, usually it's a tool that I use for my clients, but it's been nice tapping into that more for me. And then I've just been asking for what I need from my angels and guides. And what I need right now is to feel them close. I want to feel comforted. I want to feel peace. And I keep asking for those things on repeat. I mean, I really do. In every moment, that's what I'm asking for, is to give me that peace and that strength, and to show me signs that I'm on the right path. You know, it was a really hard decision to end my relationship, but there were so many signs along the way that I needed to address things differently. And the visa process alone was an absolute nightmare. And I kept getting these signs and kind of ignoring them or bypassing them because I didn't want to see what they were actually showing me. And once I made the decision that I was no longer going to move to the UK, those signs calmed down. And it was like the universe was saying to me, okay, you're listening now, you're paying attention now. I'm going to ease these signs and these messages. And what followed was peace. So if you're receiving signs, I guess my other question is, are you paying attention? Are you really paying attention to what those signs are showing you? You know, whether it's meeting somebody new in your life and feeling an uneasiness about them, or maybe the opposite. You're feeling a deep connection with them. Maybe you need to follow that, right? But I believe that our guides are giving us signs all along the way. I believe that there's a powerful combination of us asking and then paying attention and receiving that needs to happen in order for us to get those signs. And my friends, they're there. The question is, are you taking the time to pay attention?
Such a powerful question. Are you taking the time to truly feel the magic around you? So much of what Stacey said resonated so much, and she mentioned practicing the pause. So what is practicing the pause? So as humans, we naturally react. It's our natural DNA. If we get attacked, if we feel like we're being attacked, we either attack back or we retreat. It's a natural reaction. But when you practice the pause, and what does practice the pause mean? It just means breathing before you react. Just taking a breath, and of course, the self-care meditation time in nature allows you to be more balanced, more peaceful. But just breathing before you react allows you to respond. And responding is different. You're responding more from a space of love, of joy. You're responding from more of a space of awareness. And that's the difference. Practicing the pause allows you to respond. And the response is much more fun, because sometimes when we react, we know we make the situation worse. We feel like we're being attacked verbally, then if we attack back, we're just creating a situation. But when we practice the pause and you just breathe, you just allow yourself to be present and then choose to respond, you get a different outcome. And the other thing I felt resonates so much with what Stacey says is asking. We sometimes expect our guides to know everything. We put them on a pedestal. It's like, they should know. Of course they should know. What if they don't? What if this is a partnership and you have to ask for what you want? Guys don't always know. And all of them have been human, so they've not had this human experience. They need us to guide them too, just like as we need them. It's a partnership. So once you realize that and don't put them on a pedestal, and you realize it's a partnership, then you can start communicating with them differently. And like I said, letting go of your expectations of how they're going to deliver the response, but asking, such a simple thing. Our nature is we don't ask for help from our human friends, relatives, but also from our guides from other realms. Sometimes we don't feel like we're worthy, but know that your soul picked your guides and they love you unconditionally and they're here for you. But if you don't ask for help, they can't help. So you asking and being open to magic and building a connection and vibration with them really does help. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like we're receiving, Stacey was saying the same thing, through this period, we're receiving more signs. Our guides are so much more present. I'm not saying they weren't present before, but I feel like we're going through such an interesting and expansive transition that we need to lean on our guides so much more. We need to feel their presence. And it is a leap of faith. Because what happens is when you ask a question, when you ask for help, and you ask for a message, normally the message is light. It's not heavy, it's not emotional, it's very tender, it's normally quiet. And then what happens is your ego starts talking louder and then you start doubting yourself. So if you ask a question from your guides, trust what intuitively comes through first. And it's not, like I said, normally it's quiet. If it's heavy, it's full of emotion, then that's from your ego. So it's like if you're asking a question and you're not sure about something, if you put your hand on your heart and just ask the question and just allow yourself to feel what comes through. And if you allow yourself to feel, shift from I think to I feel, your ego might still kick in, but the more you take action on what you heard, the more that your intuition will start to build and it starts to grow and it starts to grow and it starts to grow. I really do feel through this time of retrogrades and, it's so much energetic shifts. It is a trying time. It is an expansive time. We are closing cycles more in days that would have taken weeks, months, maybe even years. So we need help with that. We haven't necessarily got the time we had before of totally taking time to integrate and all that. Things are happening so quickly. So now is a beautiful time to feel those energies and vibrations around you. It's just, and what if you can trust that the message is there? What if you don't need proof that your guides are there and you don't need to see, you don't need to visualize them, you just need to, what if you just need to feel? And that's a beautiful start. And what if it's about trusting your intuition and not doubting it? Because that's the other thing we do. When we see synchronicities and when we see numbers and when we get an intuitive message, we're like, well, that's not for me. Even maybe you listen to this podcast and hearing us talk about having guides and receiving messages, and you're sitting there thinking, actually, they're not talking to me, they're talking to somebody else. Well, actually, if that's what you're feeling, we're exactly talking to you. So let's do a quick exercise. I was debating whether to do it at the end or do it now. Let's do a quick exercise. A simple exercise that I do with all my clients to kind of help you just connect with the vibration energy that's around you. And obviously, if you're driving and if you're in a position you can't close your eyes, then you can always come back to this part later. It'll be quick and short. So if you're in a position to, just close your eyes and just feel what you feel around you. Taking that deep breath in and a breath out. And continue to just be present in your energy and your vibration. Feel the love that's inside you. Feel the love that's around you. Feel the energies and vibration around you. And from here, let's just call in our guides. I call in our guides, our soul family, any ascended master, any archangel, just to be around us, to magnify your energy, magnify your love. Come even closer. And from here, just ask yourself, what do you feel around you? What do you feel? Maybe you feel a tingle, maybe you feel hot or colder. Maybe you feel the love from your guides. Maybe you just feel different. In this moment, what do you feel around you? And where do you feel it? How does it make you feel? And just take it in. Allow yourself to feel. Feel where they're nudging you. Feel where they're holding you. Just feel. No questions, no just being. Allow yourself to feel what's around you. Maybe you feel pressure on one side. Maybe you feel a tingle. Maybe you just know they're there. If a loved one that left this realm could be with you right now, who would that be? Where do you feel their energy? Just allow yourself to feel and be open to magic. Just before we come back, just again, feel what's around you. Then whenever you're ready, just come back into your body and open your eyes. How was that for you, Stacey?
Really good. And I think such a great way to help people to connect, right? To take that time out to pause and to allow yourself that space to be intentional. I think a huge part of this is being intentional and saying to my guides, I am open and I am ready to receive. And so I think this process is a great way to do that.
And look, it's a simple process, right? I mean, you can re-listen to my words, or you can just simply just close your eyes and just ask your guides to be present, and then just be open to what do you feel around you, and just honor what you feel. And don't get frustrated, because sometimes we get frustrated. I don't feel anything. Just breathe. Just breathe and ask your guides, at some point, please make your presence felt. It's our expectations more than anything that keep us stuck. And it's also our doubting ourselves that we're not worthy. We're not receiving these messages. Many times we receive intuitive messages, but it's like our mind takes over. What if you could just trust? The other thing, there's a divine timing to our messages. We feel like we don't want answers now. It's like right now, all of us can feel a shift. We can feel things changing. Feel like sometimes it feels like we're in a holding pattern, waiting for something to happen, and we get annoyed and we get impatient. But there is also divine timing. So this is why when you ask a question, let go of how it comes. Let go of when it comes. And what if that leads you to magic? And sometimes it's the desperation, it's the frustration that actually stops us from feeling. And I get it. We're human, right? We want to know everything straight away. But what if it is, Stace talks a lot about trustful. It is a trustful. It really is just letting go and trusting. And right now, I feel like we're being called more to trust than ever before. And it's time to build that muscle of just trusting your intuition. It's that time of really allowing yourself to feel the energies and vibrations around you. So it's a time to ask for help and just allowing the energies and vibrations around you to truly feel. And if you feel like you're not receiving signs, be patient with yourself. Be patient, breathe. But the breath is such a powerful thing to use. 4-4-4, breathe in 4 seconds, hold it 4 seconds, breathe out 4 seconds. It's such a powerful thing to do. But if you listen to this, I can guarantee you have guides around you. They're sending you more messages than ever before. Feel the magic, feel the love. Allow yourself to be held, allow yourself to be guided. So Stacey, as we're going to close this episode, you know what I'm going to ask you? Any kind of final tips, ideas, and also any general prompts?
So I think if you're struggling to be connected, it's important to look back and reflect and ask yourself, when was the last time you received a sign? What was it? What happened? Ask yourself this question and write about it. Write about the last time that you felt or saw a sign or had an experience where you felt connected. And then I think the other part of this is ask yourself, what's holding you back from being connected? What's holding you back from asking your angels and guides for signs for you? Oftentimes, we are our biggest enemy. We're the one that gets in our own way. And maybe it's time to step out of your own way and really have that connection that you so deeply desire. And I know from talking to friends and clients, this is a very challenging season for so many. A time where we're feeling all the energies around us. And a lot of us are being really challenged in this season. And so I encourage you to make this a priority. Make this connection a priority in your life so that you can see signs and pay attention to signs and hopefully understand what those signs mean. I believe at the core of all of this, we have to ask. We have to ask and be open. And I think oftentimes, especially as adults, we don't want to ask for help from anyone. And yet, that's exactly what our soul family is here to do. They're here to help us. They're here to support us. And I absolutely believe that they'll give us signs along the way if we're open. So my friends, take some quiet time right now. Take some reflective time. Think about the last time you felt connected. Ask yourself what's holding you back right now in this season from being connected. And then get intentional in asking for some signs and see how the universe shows up for you.
I love it. I love it. Sometimes we do complicate life, right? And just spirituality doesn't have to be complicated. I didn't say it was simple, but I didn't say it was easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. And just asking is so powerful. Just remember as in the days moving ahead that the signs don't come here to convince you. They come here to hold your space. They come to remind you that you're guided, you're supported, you're held. The universe speaks in whispers, patterns, synchronicities, and gentle nudges. But the real magic happens when you choose to listen. Be present in your energy. Be present in your vibration. Stay open. Stay curious. And for me, whenever anyone says that I'm fully healed or I've mastered this, I always smile because I'm always going to stay curious. I'm always going to be a student. So be a student. Be curious. Stay connected to the subtle movements that your soul. How do you feel about things? Shifting from I think to I feel is such a powerful thing to do. Whether the signs show up as numbers, a song. Actually, we haven't talked about songs. It's such a beautiful way, I love listening to the radio and it's like allowing the next song to guide me. Asking my guides that whatever the next song is, make it a sign for me. Just play with your guides. Have jokes, just whatever the next song is, that's your message to me. Oracle cards, Stacey already mentioned. There's so many beautiful ways. But trust is such a big part of it. Trust that every message is being guided to you and it's for you. What if you could trust that you're being guided, you're being held, and that you're on the right path, nothing is missing? I love this space, Stace. I love the fact we can share whatever knowledge we have. And, there's so many different ways that you can work with us. Reach out. We have a full moon webinar coming up. It's free for 90 minutes. We'll guide you through meditation and the rest of it. I'm also launching a membership on 1212. Maybe you're ready for a Akashic record reading. We do a beautiful, unique experience of a joint reading where you get a reading from Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. The mentorship program we have holds your space and really guides you in a different sort of way. So if anything resonated, if you feel like you have a soul contract with both of us, with one of us, reach out. Also DM us. We love hearing from you. What resonated? What did you take out from today's episode? Please do like, follow, comment. It really, really does help. Sending so much love and light out to you all. And truly hope you feel the magic around you. Stacey, I'm going to hand over to you for any final words.
The signs are everywhere, my friends. It's just a matter of being open to them. We really encourage you on your journey to take the next step to being connected and reach out to us and tell us about your experience. We love hearing from you. Another amazing episode. I feel so honored to be in this space and be able to impact so many people with our voices. It's a powerful place to be, and we're truly, truly grateful for every single one of you. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.
Thanks, Stacey. And also just a reminder, normally we release a joint episode on Thursdays. On Mondays. Monday I released the Akashic message for the month. So you're looking for an insight into what December holds, please do go and listen to that episode. Sending so much love and light out. I truly hope you feel magic today. Bye for now.